Welcome, everybody. Today we're here at Old Town Bowling Center in Old Town, Maine, and we have the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour match between John Froggy Sear and Clark Cardimino. We also have Chris Morin versus Keith Miller, a doubleheader match. It looks like they're ready to go. Clark Cardimino is the home bowler against John Froggy Sear, and he's elected to go second. So John is on lane 5. And Keith Miller bowling against Chris Morin, who also elected to go second. Keith is on lane 6. Keith got 9 pins on his second ball. All right, Keith picks it up for a 10. And Froggy picks up his 10. Keith misses to the left. Froggy misses to the right, pokes right through. Keith has the 1-9 left, and Froggy hits it, but he ends up with the 6-7. Oh, Keith gets a 9 on his second box for 19. And Froggy also gets a 9. They both have 19 after 2. Keith's right in there. Oh, he gets a 9-pin drop. He leaves the 9-pin. Froggy just misses to the right, but he gets a break. He's got the 2-4-7. He's got to wait for that wood. All right, Keith's going for a spare. And he gets it. His first spare of the day. Oh, Froggy misses. Keith has 29 in the ball in the third box. Froggy's going for a 10. And he gets a 9. He's got 28 after 3. This is everyone's first match in the main series. This is Keith's load on his spare. Oh, he gets some help a little bit, and they're still falling. All right, he gets an 8 on his mark. He's got 37 after 3. Froggy's got another wood coming back. All right. Keith has some wood to help him out with this one. And no. No, he leaves the 4 pin. All right, Keith gets a 10. He's at 47 after 4. Froggy picks up a 9 for 37 after 4. Oh, Keith ends up with a triangle. Froggy hits a quarter pin.
There wasn't no canister. It was one of those uprights. They had a canister.
Oh, Keith hits the object pin and he ends up leaving the 5 pin. Oh, Froggy hits the object pin and it just goes right through. Hello, Stephen Meek from Texas. Welcome. Keith gets a 10 for a 57 half. Froggy gets a good out. He ends up with an 8. He's got a 45 half. All right, next up we have Clark Cardimino. He's bowling against John Froggy Sear. Clark's on lane 5. Clark's the owner of the Old Town Bowling Center. To his right on lane 6, we have Chris Morin. He is bowling against Keith Miller. Oh, Chris is right in there. Ends up with a 9 pin drop. Oh, Clark got some help right there. Oh, Chris misses to the left. Oh, Clark hits it and it doesn't go. Chris ends up with a 9. Clark ends up with a 9. Oh, Chris is right in the pocket again. He ends up with a 10 pin left. Oh. Chris gets a 10 while he's waiting for Clark's lane to reset. Chris has 19 after 2. Clark's trying to catch up on his second frame. Oh, he just misses. And Clark for the 10. That was a really good out. Clark and Chris both have 19 after 2. Oh, Clark's right in the pocket. Oh, he ends up with a 9 pin drop. Chris for his spare. Oh, it goes all the way around him. Hit the object pin. Little thin. Clark for his spare, and he's on it. Chris ends up with an 8 for 27, and Clark has 29 and a ball in the third. I don't know about these guys, but I played my first ACST match last week against Dom Drake, and I was so nervous. This is, like I said, just all of our first time doing this. All right, Chris ends up with a spare. He's got 37 and a ball in the fourth. And Clark got a 7 on his mark. He's got 36 in the third. Chris hits a quarter pin, and Clark ends up with a 9 in the fourth. 45 after 4 for Clark. Chris ended up with a 3 on that mark. He has 40 after 4. Clark just misses. All right. Chris ends up with a 48 for his half. Oh. Clark almost got that spare. Clark for a 10. And he gets a 9. He's got 54 at the half. Clark is up on Froggy by 9 pins at the half. And then Keith is up on Chris Morin by 9 pins. Oh, Froggy hits it, but that was kind of a mess that he left there. Keith for his spare. They both have a little bit of cleanup work to do. Oh, Froggy almost ended up with that one, but he ends up with a 9 for 54 after 6. Keith has a 7, 64 after 6. Froggy's right in there. He ends up with 4-6. The wood was no help on that one. Oh, nice shot for Keith. That's a spare. He's at 74 and a ball in the 7th. Froggy ends up with an 8. 62 in the 7th.
Hey, Clark.
Oh, Froggy's right in there. It's a nice 9-pin drop. Keith for his load. He ends up with 4. 78 after 7. And, oh my goodness. The wood did not help out there. thinking he probably didn't want to hit the wood. All right, Froggy ends up with a 10, 72 in the 8th. Keith gets a 9, 87 in the 8th. Froggy pokes through the quarter pin. Keith's right in the pocket. Oh, he gets a strike. 97 and 2 balls in the 9th frame for Keith. Froggy pokes through the hole. Oh, that's a good out. Froggy ends up with a 7. 79 after 9. Oh, right in the pocket. There they go. 9-pin drop with a 10-pin left. Keith for almost the lemon drop. He's got another ball on his strike, though. Froggy for his spare. Nice shot. Pretty sure he's probably happy about this. Froggy ends up with a 89 in a ball in the last frame. Keith ended up with a 6 on his strike with a 103 in the 9th. Keith gets a 10 for 113. Froggy on his mark to finish up this string. Right in the pocket, and he dumps them all. 99. That was a really good finish. It was a tough string. So John Froggy Sear gets a 99, and Keith ends up with a 113. Clark has 54 at the half. He needs to beat a 99. And Chris Morin has a 48 half. He needs to beat Keith's 113. Nice shot, Clark. Clark gets a spare, 64 and a ball in the 6. Chris Morin misses his. Chris gets a 10, 58 in the 6. All right, Clark gets a 6 on that mark, or 70 in the 6. This is wide left. Chris for a spare, and it doesn't go. No luck. Clark for his out. He ends up with an 8, 78 in the 7th. Chris gets a 9, 67 in the 7th. Chris is going to need a couple marks to beat Keith. Chris is going to need 46 pins in the next 3 boxes to catch up to Keith. I just noticed a scoring error that I'm fixing before we finish up. Chris Morin actually has 66 after 7. Clark gets a disappointing 5 box. And Chris ends up with a 10. Chris has 76 after 8. Clark has 83 after 8. Clark needs 16 pins in the next 2 boxes. Chris definitely needs a mark to beat Keith in this string. Clark's right in there, right in the pocket. They both have 8 pin drops. Clark for a spare, and he gets it. And so does Chris. Chris has 86 in a ball in the 9th. Clark has 93 in a ball. Clark needs 7 on his spare to pretty much shut Froggy out. And there it is. He's got 100 after 9. Chris Morin has 93. Clark gets a 10. And Chris gets a 10. Clark ends up with a 110. And he beats Froggy by 11. Oh, I'm sorry. Clark had a spare I didn't know about. And with a 3 on it. So he ends up with a 113. Clark beats Froggy by 14 pins and earns his 2 points. And then Chris Morin ends up with a 103. Keith Miller takes that one by 10 pins. There's Chris Morin and Keith Miller. And Froggy and Clark gets those 2 points. Starting out our second string. Keith ends up with a spare right to start out. Oh, Froggy gets the Clary. Oh, he can't get it to go. It's wiggling. Froggy for a 10. Keith for his load on his mark. He ends up with the Clary for 5. 15 after 1. Froggy, ugh, right straight through. He ends up with the spread eagle plus the 8. Oh, right through the hole. Keith got a 9 for 24 after 2. And Froggy gets a 17 after 2. All right. Keith ended up with a 7 for 31 after 3. Froggy gets an 8 for 25 after 3. Oh, good offer by Keith. Froggy hits the object pin, a little bit thin. Keith gets a 10. He's got 41 after 4. Froggy gets an 8. 33 after 4. Keith just misses the head pin. Froggy's right in the pocket. He ends up with an 8-pin drop. Froggy ends up with a spare. He's got 43 in a ball at the half. Keith ends up with a 9 for a 49 at the half. And this is Michelle Atherton commentating. Somebody just asked who is commentating. I don't know who Becca Vistel is, but it is not. It's Michelle Atherton. All right, Chris gets a spare. Clark gets a 9 in his first box. Chris got a 7 on his spare for a 17 in the first box. Clark on his second box. He ends up with the diamond on the left. Oh, Chris gets a nice 10 for 27 after 2. Chris is right in there. He ends up with a 4-7. And Clark ends up with another 9, 18 after 2. Chris misses his spare. 4-pin went all the way around the 7-pin. Clark's right in the pocket, and Chris gets a If anybody can hear me, say so, because I've been told that nobody can hear me. Oh, great. Somebody said they can hear me now, so that's awesome. Perfect. I don't know what I did, but you're probably all happy you didn't hear me anyway. So, all right. So we're back. Keith has a 7 and a 10. So Keith has a 45 half. And Froggy, oh gosh, during all that commotion, I missed some good bowling, I guess. Froggy ends up with a strike and spare on strike. Froggy has a 58 and a ball. All right, Chris Morin has a 9 to start out. And Clark also has a 9. All right, Chris gets a spare. Chris has 19 and a ball after 2. Clark gets another 9. 18 after 2. Chris Morin ends up with an 8 on his spare. 27 after 2. Clark's right in there. He ends up with a diamond on the right. Oh, wow. That was a good offer. All right, Chris Morin ends up with a 36 in the third. Clark with another 9, 27 after 3. Chris ends up with a split. He's got 2, 4, 7, 6. Oh, he wouldn't slide over though. Oh, wow. Right through the hole. Chris ends up with a 9. He's got 45 after 4. Clark has a 7, 34 after 4. Thanks for the comments, everyone. Chris misses that object pin a little bit to the left. Clark's right on it. All right, Chris gets a 10. He's got a 55 half, and he's up on Keith by 10 pins. Clark ends up with a 42. Keith and Chris. And Froggy and Clark. Oh, strike on spare. As Paul Grant would say, wow, strike on spare. Froggy ends up with a 68 half, 78 and 2 balls in the 6. Oh, Keith, that was a good hit. All right, Keith ends up with 54 after 6. Froggy's right in the head on the head pin again. He's got another ball on his strike though. All right. Keith just misses the head pin. Froggy. He's got 8 on his strike for 86 in the 6th. Keith just missed that. Should have gone. Froggy gets an 8 for 94 in the 7th. Keith gets a 9 for 63 in the 7th. Oh, Froggy's right in there again for a strike. 104 and 2 balls in the 8th. Keith gets the lemon drop. I'll make sure Keith pays Al Johnson $1 for candle pins for cancer. Oh, he's getting some help. All right, Keith ends up with another 9. 72 after 8. Oh, I got some pins falling. Froggy's in the pocket again. He's got another ball on his strike, though. Keith missed the head pin to the left. Oh, that was a tough shot either way. Froggy gets 8 on his strike for a 112 in the 8th. Oh, Keith hits it. Doesn't go. Right down the middle. Field goal. 120 after 9. Keith gets a 9 for an 81 after 9. I guess they've all had their struggles and they've all had their good ones. Froggy misses the head pin this time. Oh, Froggy gets a very generous 10. 130. Good half by Froggy. And Keith ends up with a 90. Keith has 314 after 3. Froggy has 337 after 3. Clark's got a 42 half going against Froggy's 130. He's got some work to do. Chris Morin ends up with a strike. 65 and 2 balls in the 6th. Oh, wow, that was a great shot. Nice shot, Clark. Clark has 52 and a ball in the 6th. Clark's right in there. That's an 8 on his spare. Hey, Keith. Look at Clark's score, 34 and 8. Look at Clark's score. 34 and 8 should be 42. All right, Chris gets an 8 on his strike, so he's got 73 in the 6th and a 9 box, so 82 in the 7th. Clark ended up with another spare, 70 in a ball. Oh, he ends up with 4 on that, 74 after 7. Oh, Clark got some help on that. Chris gets an 8. 90 after 8. Clark also gets an 8. 82 after 8. Can you still hear me? Can you still? All right, Chris picks up a spare, and Clark gets a strike. Clark's at 92 and 2 balls in the 9th. Chris has 100 and a ball in the 9th. Oh, Chris pokes through. 102 after 9 for Chris. He's going to take 2 points from Keith on this round. All right. So Chris Morin ends up with a 110. He's going to take, like I said, he's going to take 2 points from Chris on this string. Clark gets a 6 on his strike. 98. Looks like Froggy's going to take this string. It's a good out for Clark. 9. That's a good back half for Clark. That's a 65 back half for a 107. Clark has 310. Clark has 310 after 3. Froggy has 339 after 3. Froggy's up by 29 pins. Froggy has 4 points and Clark has 2. On the other match, Keith Miller has 314 and Chris Morin has 345. And Chris Morin has 4 points and Keith Miller has 2. Going on to our 4th string. Keith gets a 10. And Froggy gets an 8. Somebody said I need to yell wow when something exciting happens. I definitely will do that. I think I did it a few minutes ago because Froggy got a strike on spare, but I will definitely do that. I need the guys to bowl something extremely good so that I can do that, though. So we'll hope for that. All right, Keith gets a spare. Wow. All right, that was a wow. Froggy gets a spare. All right, Keith has a 20 in a ball in the second. Froggy has 18 in a ball in the second. All right, I believe Keith gets a 3 on his spare for 23 in the second. Froggy gets a 5 for 25 for 23 in the second. They're tied. Again, not against each other. They're bowling against other people. All right, Keith gets a 7 for 30 after 3. Froggy gets a 10 for 33 after 3. Oh, Keith pokes right through the middle. Spread eagle. Froggy's on the head pin. That's a nasty split, the 8-10. But he's got some wood. Maybe he can make it happen. Oh, it didn't slide over. It was a good offer, though. Keith for the cleanup. Well, 7's not terrible, I guess. Froggy gets a 9. 42 after 4 for Froggy. 37 after 4 for Keith. So again, I have Froggy has 4 points out of 6, and he's up by 29 pins on Cardimino. And Chris Morin has 4 points out of 6 over Keith Miller, and Chris is up by 31 pins. Keith ends up with an 8 for a 45 half. And Froggy ends up with a 9 for a 51 half. Here we go with Cardimino on the left again, and Chris Morin on the right. Clark's bowling against Froggy, and Chris is bowling against Keith Miller. This is Michelle Atherton, broadcasting from Old Town Bowling Center in Old Town, Maine. This is the first week 1 of the Maine ACST. Chris gets a spare. I'm also bowling in the ACST, but I doubt anybody will ever broadcast other than me, so you probably won't see me, which I'm okay with. Chris gets a lemon drop. He's gonna owe Al Johnson $1. That gives him 11 after 1. Clark got a 10 on his first one. All right, Chris gets an 8. That's 19 after 2. Clark gets a spare. 20 and a ball after 2. Wow, Chris is right in there. He ends up with the 3 pin. Chris for a spare. And he gets it. 29 and a ball after 3. Oh, Chris pokes through. 2 on his spare for 31 after 3. He's not going to like that. 2 marks, one with a 1 on it, one with a 2 on it. I know I wouldn't like it, so. Clark ended up with a 6 on his spare for 26 after 2, and then an 8 box for 34. Chris ends up with a 7, 38 after 4. Clark's right in there. Oh my God, that's a terrible leave. Very terrible leave for the hit. Oh, Clark, that was a good offer. Chris Morin hit his, but it didn't go. Clark for a 10. Good 10 with that leave. 44 after 4. Chris Morin ends up with a 10, 48 half for Chris Morin. He's up on Keith Miller by 3 pins at the half. They both struggled a little bit this time. Clark's got the 3-6-10 for the spare, and he misses the 3 pin. And he gets it this time. That's a Paul Grant special, I've heard. Missed the second, get the third. Clark ends up with a 54 half. He's up on Froggy by 3. This string could go either way for either team. Froggy has a 51. Clark has a 54. Keith has a 45, and Chris has a 48. Yeah, it's going to be whoever decides to break out of this one for this string. Froggy for the spare, misses the head pin. That's all he leaves. Oh, Keith picks up a great spare. And the crowd goes wild. Keith has 54 and a ball in the 6th. Froggy has 61 in the 6th. Froggy's right on the head pin. He ends up with a split. 3, 6, 7, 10. Keith for his load. Keith ends up with a 6. 61. He and Froggy are head to head. It's going to be a good match when they're bowling against each other. They both have 61 in the 6th. Oh, Keith hits his. Froggy hits his. Nobody goes. All right, Froggy gets another 10 for 71 after 7. See if Keith can match him. Keith gets a 9. If you haven't been following along, Keith and Froggy are not bowling against each other. Keith is bowling against Chris Morin, and Froggy is bowling against Clark Cardimino, the owner of Old Town Bowling Center. Wow, Keith ends up with a 9-pin drop. That's a good hit. Froggy for a spare. Oh, he leaves the back pin. Oh, Keith missed it. He knew it when he threw it. Froggy for a 10. 81 after 8. And Keith tries the wood this time. Doesn't go. 79 after 8. Still waiting for a wow moment. Froggy did have a 130 string. I probably could have used it a couple times then. I'll have to get used to this broadcasting thing a little bit more before I start doing stuff like that. Oh, there we go. Wow. Keith gets a strike. That's all I had to say, I guess. I just was waiting for that moment. Oh, Froggy goes for a spare and pokes it right through. Froggy gets a 10. 91 after 9. Keith has 89 and 2 balls in the ninth. I think Froggy would probably like to get a mark right here. Put some pressure on Clark in the 4th string. And he's right in the pocket. That's what we call the Dutch. That's what we call the Dutch oven in Old Town, Maine. Yeah. We have the.
You know it's awful when you let it go and nobody else does, but you know. They find out later.
We're gonna name that. We're gonna make sure everybody else calls it the Dutch oven because that's what we call it here. Oh, Froggy almost makes it a Dutch oven and doesn't go. Oh, Keith gets a 10. No, a spare.